nation, probably in the world. I want to ask you, Mr. Cheadle, how do you think jazz enthusiasts, or how do you hope, rather, jazz enthusiasts take this film and the music and the portrayal of Miles?
That remains to be seen. Obviously, I don't know how it will be received. I hope that they come to it with an expansive viewpoint that Miles had. You know, in the movie, obviously, he's asked. One of the first things he says is when, you know, the reporter says jazz, and he stops him and says, "Don't. It's not jazz. Don't label what I do as jazz. You know, it's trying to box me in. It's social music," and that's out of Miles' mouth. So, you know, I know that for many people that I've spoken with while we were developing this, you know, people kind of left off Miles. Certain people left off of Miles when he started, you know, when he left acoustic and became electric and started doing things that purists, quote unquote, felt was a violation of who he had been and what he had done before. But that was never what Miles said he was. You know, people were trying to lay a sign on him that he never put on himself. He was always someone, not unlike Dylan, who went to where their inspiration led them and was always trying to find the new thing or the next thing and deal with the sonics of the day. And a lot of other people that I've spoken with who come to know and love Miles didn't even know about Miles until they heard albums like Bitches Brew and the Jack Johnson stuff, things that were much more quote-unquote rock and roll, that were not pure jazz, that allowed them to then sort of go back and find the music that had come before. They'd never heard of Miles Davis. So there's a lot of different entry points to his music depending on who you are and what moves you and what you define as the kind of music that you connect to. So he's many, many things. He's multifaceted, and I think that that's what the movie is trying to represent, a multifaceted artist, not strictly a jazz musician.